A film mocking the Prophet Muhammad has resulted in 8 South Africans dying in a suicide bomb in Afghanistan. Afghan militants have claimed responsibility for this morning's attack on a minivan carrying foreign workers. A female suicide car bomber attacked the van on a highway leading to Kabul International Airport, killing 12 people. For more on the protests around the film, I'm joined by the director of the Islamic Center for Africa, Seyed Hoseini. Mr. Hoseini, good evening, and thank you very much for joining us. How much of the protests around the world, particularly in the Middle East, are related to the video, and how much of it is actually directed against the United States?
Look, majority of the unrest that you see around the globe from the Muslim world, it's showing the demonstrations of their anger against what happened and against the release of such a immature and amateur movie.
Well, the death toll, we understand from the movie, so far stands at around 19. The leader of Hezbollah in Lebanon, Hassan Nasrallah, calling it the worst attack on Islam. Do you concur, and why? Exactly.
Look, every nation has got its own red line. Like, for example, in South Africa, you cannot insult a black person in South Africa in the basis of its race. If you go to Europe, you cannot deny even the happening of Holocaust. You will go to jail. Muslims also has got their own red line. Insulting the most holiest person who ever have ever walked on the face of this universe is someone that they love so dear that they are ready to sacrifice their life for such a person. Now, they are not even allowed in Islamic world. Up to this moment, there is no even one movie made on the life of Prophet showing him even in a positive manner, that they have got so much respect that they cannot even picture him in a, just showing his face is considered a type of disrespect to him. Now somebody is coming, making a movie, showing him as a pedophilia, as a child molester, as a womanizer, and as somebody who is a homosexual. So that is not something which is acceptable for the Islamic world.
Some critics this evening, Mr. Hoseini, saying that Islam is intolerant of criticism, intolerant of freedom of expression.
That can be what you call applied in Europe also. So why they are introducing laws denying Holocaust, that's also it can be limitation of freedom of expression. If I am in an opinion that Holocaust it happened or it didn't happen, or if it happened in a lower level or a higher level, or I have got my writings about it, I go to jail just for expressing my opinion. There are some, the liberal democracy believes in freedom of expression, but has got limitation until it doesn't harm somebody.
Mr. Hoseini, you know, you believe, of course, that there's been rights and boundaries infringed here. The expression that you see in countries around the world, with the murder, for example, of the US ambassador in Libya. You see today the murder of those South Africans in Kabul. Why are innocent civilians being killed?
Islam doesn't endorse such activities. Islam is a religion of logic and rational. We don't invite to have such violences. We actually send condolences to the families of those, especially South African, who has been killed today, if it was for this purpose. Islam doesn't allow to kill an innocent person with the guilt of somebody with a sin of somebody who is guilty.
Why is it happening in the name of
Islam is something else, but Muslims are something else. There are some Muslims which have been taking the laws in their own hand, while the same Prophet which they are defending encourage us to be tolerant, encourage us to deal with your anger and control your anger. That is not how we have to deal with the issue. There are other ways. You can come with numbers, with millions of people must come to the streets, demonstrate opposite the embassies of the United States, show their anger, give them the petition, raise your voice, write article, indulge in dialogue, in negotiations, in lectures, in all of that. Produce another movie concerning the Prophet, or defend the Prophet in media, in any form that you can do. But killing somebody who has not been involved in this issue is not permissible, definitely.
Mr. Hoseini, thanks for your time. We appreciate that. That was the director of the Islamic Center for Africa, Seyed Hoseini.